There is a main character in my main artwork, or the bigger panels, that show a blue character. This is inspired by a coyote that I had like a brief encounter in Memorial Park. And in the trail, all of a sudden I saw an animal in the distance, and I thought it was a dog. And then I noticed that it was a wild coyote. And we stand like looking to each other with curiosity and even fear, I suppose. For me, that very few moments became like a spiritual experience. And I wanted to translate that experience, that moment, in this painting, and that's why I painted this coyote in this color, blue color, that for me is almost like a sacred. I am very interested in the tradition of folk art and some traditions connected with modernism and myths in general. I use all of these to tell my stories. I believe all over the world people have connection with this myth because we use fantasy as a language to recreate stories that we have passed from generations to generation. I am a frequent user of the airport in Houston, and I wanted to share an experience with the other travelers after a long journey, where they will have this presence of an artwork that will provide a therapeutic experience after the long journey. And there will be also an image that will communicate a sensation of welcoming to people of all ages and different cultures. When I moved to Houston, I saw a lot of similarities with the landscape of Venezuela, especially the exuberance of the flora, the trees. There were immense, huge, beautiful trees. And with this project, I wanted to celebrate that. The smaller panels are inspired in the grackles that are blackbirds that are common in the landscape of Houston. There are also geometric shapes that talks or make reference to the architecture of the city. The material that I'm using to create this artwork, the support, is actually aluminum composite material. This material is new for me. The reason I decided to use this ACM is because it was a very strong, because the durability, the sturdiness, and because it was a very light material as well. I use acrylic paint to paint the surfaces, and after that I'm going to varnish the painting to ease maintenance and also to protect the artwork. When I start working with the airport project, I already have like a maquette. I already have a sketch that I painted really. So I have like some type of a guide that I could use for the work. But when I face the dimension of the panels, I felt that I needed to have this freedom to explore and to navigate the process of painting these panels in a very spontaneous way, and that's what happened. But it was a very enjoyable experience, especially thinking that after traveling for so many hours, the public will be encountering this welcoming, colorful, friendly image, into the city. For me, as an artist, this has been a really, really important experience to grow as a professional. I was able to plan carefully every stage of the process, which is a very important element to produce an artwork of this scale and to produce a public art. sometimes it's tiring and time consuming, but it's very enriching. It's an experience that it will give a lot of tools to the artist that is involved in this type of project. When I was producing this work for the airport, I've been feeling that my art has been getting a lot of interest in the public art space. And that's something that caught my attention, because when I started producing art, I was interested in developing works that were conceptual type of artworks. And recently with this project, I have embraced painting one more time in a very vigorously way. And I think that is a very, I like it. I like the experience of doing this. Is something that I will have the chance to share my art with potentially with a lot of people, and it's a very new field in a way for me, you know, in entering the arena of public art. I love it. It looks so good.